Hello, I'm Alex Mansfield, the host of Manny Talks Shooting, and welcome to another episode. This is the shooting podcast where I talk to individuals all across the shooting industry. We'll talk competition, self-defense, concealed carry. If you like this content, check out our YouTube channel, Manny Talks Shooting. And without further ado, let's get to this episode. Manny Talks Shooting is proudly presented to you by D2 Custom Guns. Did you know that Phil the Groundhog isn't the only thing Puxatawny, Pennsylvania is famous for? That's right, D2 Custom Guns, the home of Dan Heizenreiter and one of the best, fabulous 2011 builders in the country. So make sure you guys go check him out, D2 Custom, anywhere you can see him on the social media, Facebook, Instagram, go check him out. If you see myself, Patches Reader, anyone with the D2 Custom Guns, make sure you go check him out, and you will thank me later. Now, let's get on to the show. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of Manny Talks Shooting. I think this will be installment 221, so congratulations. We made it that far without getting canceled or quitting. But with this video, I was proudly presented to you by D2 Custom Guns, the fabulous 2011 builder on the country. As one of my guests today says, he loves listening to the commercial over and over again because that's the best part of the show. It really is, because I haven't really started talking by then, but it's okay. Tonight, we're sitting down with a group of gentlemen who, I don't know how they got their name. They'll cover it later, but we're sitting down with four gentlemen from the Hobo shooters. We've got Jason it'll be my left on the screen, but really probably to everyone else is probably the right. We've got Derek above him. We've got Chris on the front top, and then we got Chris underneath him too. So it's all good. We got Chris is on one side. I did not plan that accordingly, and then the other guys who are not Chris on the other side. But it's all good, gentlemen. How you doing tonight?
Good.
Excellent.
Good.
Well, thank you for joining me. As it was kind of spontaneous, I sent the link to Derek and was like, and then everybody signed up, it was kind of a different thing that I was thinking of. So it's all good. So this will be a fun conversation between myself and you guys. So first we'll go round table. We'll probably start with Derek and then work clockwise. Just kind of the elevator pitch. Who are you and how did you get into shooting?
Yeah, hey, thanks. Congrats on your 221st episode. Proud to be here. So we'll talk a little bit about Hobo shooters as we get into this, but just to kind of give everybody's role, we're a shooting team. Jason, that you'll get to next, is our president. He's our vibe check and keeps us all in line. Director of sponsorship and outreach is Chris Payer, top right on my screen. And I'm the operations guy, so that's why I'm giving the intro here, because I do all the dirty work. And director of social media and competitive success is Chris Davenport there on the low right. We're a team of 30 members strong with two current prospects working through there. We kind of follow a biker gang mentality where a member has to bring in another shooter and then show them off a couple times, and then the members vote on them, or those that are assembled vote, and then you're in. It's that simple. But yeah, we're a shooting team comprised of active duty military veterans, affiliates, and families dedicated to celebrating the military veteran. Our mission is to introduce military members to the sport of competitive shooting and a fellowship within the shooting sports. And that's as far as I'll go on Hobo shooters, and I'll come back to your question. It's kind of unfair because I grew up in the shooting sports. My uncle, Paul Hernandez, that those in USPSA probably know very well, found the sport with my father, Bruce, in the late 80s, early 90s, and started dragging me along as a teenager, shooting in 1911 in indoor ranges at targets and running back and forth. It was great. I've been hooked, and I've been shooting it off and on ever since. And run a match down here in South Carolina, and work as many majors as I can sign up for, and my job allows. So that's me.
All right, whoever's next. I can't remember which way if I said, but we'll go with Jason because I'm looking at him on my screen. So Jason's
All
up.
right, sounds good. So actually, I just grew up shooting as a kid. I joined the military out of high school, and then years later, I actually met Derek at a military school that he and I were attending. And he just said to me one day, he's like, "Hey, you want to go to a shooting match?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And so we went out and God, Derek, I can't even remember the name of the club. Um, were they IPSC or were they USPSA?
It's USPSA. It's Mill Creek, USPSA, and Kansas.
Yeah. So what was that, 10, 15 years ago now?
We're at 13.
13. So yeah, 13 years ago, Derek got me into the shooting sports, and off and on, and then life took us out to the East Coast and met the other guys, and it just it became a thing. And like Derek said, we'll get into kind of the lineage of our team and where it all came together later on.
All right, Chris Davenport, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for having us on here for sure. So I'm one of the few active duty shooters still on the team. I got into shooting actually USPSA because of Derek and Chris. I got the fortune of working with them, and then they introduced me to USPSA really at a member day at our local gun club in South Carolina, Mid Carolina Rifle Club. I got out there. They showed me a stage. I thought I was awesome. Like I only had to reload twice on a Texas Star, so I figured I'd be a grandmaster in no time. Uh, so I got into it. That was about 3 years ago. Uh, Steel challenge in the winter. Then Derek told me that if I was going to shoot with him, I needed to learn about three gun. That required me to buy two more guns, which isn't a bad thing. But doing everything I can. Currently living out in Central Texas because this is just where the Army's taken me, and really fallen into a great shooting community out here. Love everything about it, and happy to just kind of spread the brand out here in Central Texas.
All right, Payer, that leaves you.
Back cleanup here. Again, thanks for having us. Kind of like Jason, I grew up, my father was a police officer, so a lot of times I'd be able to go out on the weekends and the police would let me shoot, MP5s, all the pistols, stuff that, the average guy couldn't. I just thought, hey, this is great, wonderful. Then I joined the military, and I was always overseas, not really a opportunity to shoot in some of these other countries like we have here. Came back to South Carolina and jumped feet first into the three gun, and I'm a solid C class at best, and I was thinking, oh, talking with Derek, I can go to this USPSA they're talking about, and I can just do pistol, and I'll get better on that. The first time you shoot it, what are these? It's two on paper, right? What are these Alpha Charlie you speak of? So since then, it's just been right down the rabbit hole. 3 years, just got my CRO certification and started working the majors with Derek, and it's I haven't looked back since.
Well, so from all it stems from, it's all Derek's fault. The money pits that
Yes.
you're all in to do shooting competition is all Derek's fault.
You're 100% right. 100%.
Yeah, if you look at this wall behind me, that's my nest egg.
Right? But no, and that's good. That's the part of the sport that you steward. You bring somebody in, you teach them up, you get them to comfortable to go to shoot matches, and that's the cool part. Like the sport is nothing without the community, right? Like even if it's just shooting matches with each other or working the matches, there's like multiple separate communities within this, right? And that's the cool thing is we build on and we bring the new people in. I mean, I've never been to a match where people have never been like, oh, your gear broke. Here's my gun. Here's some ammo. You go shoot the stage, right? Like everyone here is super chill, and I bet even in the three gun community, it's even more prominent because, oh, you want to try my fancy rifle? Here you go. There's the dope. Have fun. Shoot long range with it. But that's the cool thing about this sport. We all want people to enjoy it and get hooked and have massive, like the Peter Griffin like meme or little clip. I've got $30,000 of credit card debt. It all seems like that, right? It's always like we want you to go down the rabbit hole we went down.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me jump on that a little bit because we have a active duty Marine. At the time, he was a gunnery sergeant, so we just called him Gunny on our team. That was his nickname. But he broke his shotgun at a three gun match, and so we had a backup, a very cheap, $800 shotgun that he could use. And like, here's our team gun, use this. And then one of the other shooters said, no, please use my Hayes custom gun. And I said, bro, if you break that gun, we can't help you.
And then he went on to break his rifle on the next stage. So fortunately, somebody was able to help him there too.
That's even worse. That's got to be just like the worst. You're just like, oh, great, another gun down. Then did he break his pistol on the third stage?
He should have. He really should have at that point.
It was a
No,
60-20.
no, actually, I think that did happen because if I remember right, his magazine exploded. I don't know if it was the next stage, but it was at that match. Like one of his magazines had a catastrophic failure and just blew apart.
That's just a sign. It's like you should have just gone home for the day.
I did fine, hung in there.
It was a
It
3-day
buffed it.
match.
That's right, it
There's no
buffed
going
out.
home.
Yeah. Hey, I've seen people. I don't know how many times, especially working stats at major matches, like somebody shoots them like a stage or two, and then it's like they just go home. It's like what? Like okay, that's still a pain in the butt. Like they go home, and then you got to do all the back work for it. But yeah, it's like you spend all that money, especially as a competitor. I'm like I'm gonna get my money, like because it's not even just the match fee; it's the hotel, it's all the ammo, it's the expense of being gone. Like I couldn't eat that. Oh, I'm gonna suck it out through the crappy weather and everything. So all right, so Derek, you said you've been doing this off and on for about 13ish years. When someone's gonna have to fill me in the story, but when did the first iteration of the Hobo shooters take place? What
Yeah, I'll start.
match?
No, I've
What
been
year?
shooting off and on 22 years. USPSA member for 21 years.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh, you old guy! You get to
I know.
do you get to wear the yellow shirt now?
I have a yellow shirt. Yes,
Green shirt's the best shirt.
I have the Utah yellow shirt too, but that was a gift. I didn't earn it. Um, let's see, hobo shooters. Yeah, it was an idea spawned by me and Jason, mostly Jason. And 2022, we were shooting Memorial 3 gun. It's a 3-day match. Back then, they were still pretty physical, and it was a smoker. And we were on a squad, and there was a shooter who was just giving Jason a hard time about his gear, his equipment, kind of implying he shouldn't be there. But the whole match and the mission statement of the match was to bring active duty into the shooting sports. And at the time, Jason was active duty. And so we were meeting sort of the conditions of the match and what they were trying to do. But this competitive shooter didn't like him being there, slowing things down, trying to figure out his equipment and using outdated stuff. so,
Fact.
fact. Yeah. So we were talking and talking after that, and there's plenty of stories associated with that story, with that specific match, and the things Jason did with a 30-06 and some other
No, no,
racer
no.
ammo.
That was two different memorial events. So yeah, one of the memorial events, I used an M1 Garand with 30-06 tracer rounds I picked up in Ethiopia. On this one that Derek is talking about specifically, I had a rifle go down, so I had to bust out my World War II M1 carbine, uh, which actually performed really well. Like I did well with that, all
So
things
Yeah.
considered.
I'm going to stop you, Jason. You just happen to have your World War M1 carbine sitting in the truck.
Oh, I mean,
Yes, and
so
you noticed no one else on the team blinked at that comment.
It's
Yes.
a tactical Prius. You haven't seen it yet, but yeah,
Okay.
that's
also
where it
true.
is.
So yes, there was a M1 carbine in my tactical Prius just in case the need should arise, and it
Now,
did.
was that just kind of like this was the most like this is the most three gunish gun you had, or was it just like, well, if this one goes down, I need some form of backup, so I trust this one enough, I'm throwing it in,
There you go. It was the backup because why not?
I
right?
think
So
he forgot it was there.
yeah, he forgot it was and just had enough
His
ammo to
AR
finish the
broke.
match with it.
I remember his AR breaking, and we go to his Prius. He opens the trunk. He's like, I happen to have another rifle here. Can I bring this into the match? And I said, as far as I read the rules, yes. Do you have ammo for it? He's like, oh, bro, I have so much ammo for this thing. But anyway, back to the point. Sorry. Uh, After that match, as we were drinking beer and talking, um, we kind of wanted to go counterculture to that guy trying to drive Jason out of the sport. Said, you belong here. I belong here. We both belong here. Fuck that guy.
Mm-hmm.
so, so let's figure something out to go forward. Maybe we should be a team of people who are good dudes, and we can push them out of our squad at the smallest level. Just like let's just squad out to where there's no one else who could possibly give us a hard time. Let's find like-minded dudes and shoot this match. and other matches. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the way I remember it. Jason, you may remember it different.
No, that's about it. But also the fact of, for all the guys on the screen here, we like hanging out with each other. We like the sense of camaraderie. And when we squad up together, when we go to events together, whether they're USPSA matches, they're three gun matches, various outlaw matches we all enjoy shooting, we make a big effort of not arguing with ROs. If the stage has resets, reset quickly, and just, being good competitors and being good participants and enjoying the sport for what it is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and that's the nice thing is right. You when you find like-minded dudes and you're all shooting together, you have a better time. You probably shoot a little bit better because you're not stressed. You're with your homies, and and then you don't have to worry about anyone not pasting like and resetting. Like that's the one thing you hate when you go to a random squad of people in any of their shooting sports is there's always the one guy who's on his phone the whole time and hasn't picked up a paster at all, and usually they have the GM next to their name. Usually, these are the unknown GMs, but yes, there's always one of those.
Hey man, I won't drop names, but to this, like, what, 2 3 years ago, there was a competitor who would not reset. I still drop that name every match we show up to because it just gets under my skin. And now it's become kind of like a joke. But
Hmm.
yeah, you're right. There's always that person. We
And,
try not to be that person.
right. Well, and it's got to be even worse in like a three gun atmosphere because you've got so much more to reset. The stages, if they're natural terrain, way bigger, and you're out there picking up poppers or plates off the ground and clays and load like it probably takes 10 minutes to reset a stage.
Yeah, and you've lost the person that's on deck and in the hole because in the hole you're trying to make sure all your stuff kit's loaded. Three different guns, three different platforms, so you're already down two or three shooters
Mm-hmm.
before
Oh,
you even
100%.
start.
So speaking of, I guess particular Memorial three gun, or because they changed, didn't they just change the name too? Isn't it like a little bit different now, like the name?
Yeah.
So like,
Memorial Valor Foundation.
oh, there we go. Now, with that, do they let you preload in the preload station, and then do you physically have to walk all your guns to the buckets where they got to go, or like the ROs still help? Like, can they help you?
Oh, it's all on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they generally just have the follow the last RO down
Hmm.
as they're clearing and scoring, and as you get to the end, you start and work your way back. So whatever the last dump barrel is, you stage there and work your way back.
Gotcha. Yeah, I still got it. That would be a pain in the butt. Especially when those big. I would hate to. Nothing against working three gun matches, but that would be a pain in the butt. The young guys getting stuck on the really long natural terrain stage, and you're like, this is gonna be a long weekend. This is like I need 2 days after my vacation of working a match to recuperate.
Oh, I'll tell you, it's not just a weekend. Those guys are there all week. They don't get to shoot the staff match till Wednesday, and they're building it, you know, weeks before. But most of the
Mhm.
staff shows up, I think, Monday for all the pre stuff they have to do, and then they shoot it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday even, and go from there. But shout out to Roy Joffrin and Misty Joffrin for pulling this match together. They work it every year. Match directors Eric Torres. You gotta he's on his 8th year doing this. It's pretty amazing what they pull off every year. But and the resetting is just so much. And we just like just lean into it and do it is what we tell our team members. Like they should always see a hobo jersey resetting. If you're not doing anything, you should be resetting. You recover your team guns, help your team members out. So the guy before the on deck shooter, his job is to help the on deck shooter get his guns all ready and carry them to the buckets and all that stuff. But the ROs, they're smoked. They're just seeing shooters at that point. They're not thinking if how can I help you? How can I make this easier? They are just exhausted. And that brings me to a story about Jason. First time he did this was probably 2022 or so. An RO came up to him and he's like, "Hey, bro, you have a mic over there on that paper. Do you want to see it?" And Jason just told him, "No, you're the range officer. I trust you. I'll approve it, blanket." The RO said, "Nobody's ever told me that before." So that became the team mantra. If you're at a charity match, you don't challenge any RO call. Just click approve.
And that's the nice thing, right? You just it makes things flow a little bit better, and it definitely brain fart here, but it definitely builds morale, and it does help the ROs, because they're not, because usually they're going to see everyone who's a pain in the ass, and they're just going to be like, oh, you're another one of those guys, but not you guys, not the guys in the white and blue with the blue writing over there. I did sneak in. I looked on the practice score really fast while someone was talking. You guys do have a pretty good squad. I want to know what the over under in is on Gary and how many mics. I love Gary. Gary's the guy who brought me into the sport, really like learning to be a range official. But sorry, Gary, I need to know.
I don't know. We're working with him. His pistol shooting's got a lot better. Uh, Chris was tried to take him to the rifle range in Oak Hill. Uh, they decided not to go. I don't know why. And he just bought a VR80 that he hasn't shot yet. So this is going to be great. But as I keep telling Gary, we have much worse shooters than him.
Mm-hmm.
So we have much worse.
Just tell me he's not allowed to throw the USPSA rulebook at the Memorial 3 gun guys.
No, I already gave him the Memorial 3 gun rulebook because they publish their own rulebook pretty far in advance, and it's very vastly different.
Yeah, because I hear there's no tracer rounds now.
I believe I am responsible for that ruling.
So Jason, go ahead and share that story. I think that was pretty. I think Derek gave me a little gist of it, but go ahead and tell me the story. I'm curious on this.
No, I really wanted to shoot an M1 Grand in a 3 gun match, and for a charity event like that seemed perfect. And so I brought it out there, and at the time I was looking around for affordable 30, I needed like 300 rounds of 30-06 ammo to make it through a 3-day event. And I just happened to find some World War II surplus tracer rounds in Ethiopia. Price was right, so I picked them up and took it to the match. And I think the first stage there were these flapper targets, um, maybe 300 meters out, and you had to engage them from inside this little concrete bunker. Yeah, as soon as I started hitting the flappers, you'd see the tracers going straight up into the sky. It looked really cool. And some of the ROs were like, hey, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I don't think you can do that.
First
And
three
then
stages,
Derek,
we stopped him.
yeah, and then Derek comes hustling over with the rule book as my longtime range lawyer. And Derek's like, well, according to your rule book, there's nothing in here prohibiting my man from firing tracer rounds. And so, yeah, we got to rock on with that. The Marine Corps shooting team thought it was the coolest thing ever that somebody was actually shooting it with an M1 Garand. Um, yeah, the Marines thought, oh, and my pistol for that event was also a 1911, which really held me back, but was a lot of fun.
Hey, it's about the fun, right? It's not about being the best. It's about having the fun, right?
Well, so in fairness, I never look at my score. Like I'm fairly certain I'm actually not a very good shooter, but I don't know because I never check my score. These other guys I'm on the panel with, much better.
Is that the same match where the guy ended up having to buy a rifle because he didn't think you were going to hit the
No.
ring?
Okay, so that was the one where where my AR broke and I had to go the M1 carbine. So the story that Derek was alluding to earlier, where we had the fellow competitor that thought that it was his place to critique other shooters and determine who deserved to be in the sport and who didn't. When I went to the M1 carbine, we were on a stage that had targets out to, I think, as far as 550. And the first target was at 450 meters. I didn't hear the comment because I was getting ready to take my first shot. But apparently the gentleman said to Derek, he's like, if this guy hits that target with that, M1 carbine with iron sights. He goes, if this guy hits that target, I'm going to buy one of those rifles. Sure enough, first shot, cold bore, 450 meters with a 30 carbine, and got it. Yep. So that was pretty lucky. Yeah, that was a luck shot. Like that, there were a lot of Kentucky windage in that one, and I didn't hit the 550. I like threw a couple rounds at it and then just moved on.
Hmm.
But no, it was a good time. I enjoyed myself. I like
So
using vintage gear.
hey, there's
It's
nothing
fun
wrong
for
with
me.
that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Like that, there's got to be a special division for for that, like where it's like retro. I don't even know. I mean, there's probably something in the Memorial Rulebook about like those cool divisions that are like, surplus or retro or authentic.
There's so there's really not because in all fairness, there's just not enough people that want to do it, and it's not the equipment itself isn't competitive. So using all that vintage stuff, you'll never win a match. So if you had your own division, I guess you could win the division, but it's not likely you'd win the overall match.
Hmm.
So for a lot of competitors, it's not what they're there for. And I don't certainly don't blame them.
Well, doesn't Cross Creek run one that you were looking at?
Yeah, Cross Creek has a vintage rifle match fourth Saturday of every month. I'm gonna try my 3040 Crag at there sometime.
All I hear is dollar signs with these really big, like with calibers that start with 30. Good change. No, I commend you for doing the oddity thing, Jason, and it sparks some passion for a lot of people. I enjoy that. So Chris Davenport, you've been quiet, but it's okay. We're gonna pick on you next a little bit. So as being a hobo shooter but still being active, how much shooting are you able to do in Central Texas right now?
So I don't know if you've ever been to Texas before, uh, but the folks down here they don't mind shooting at all.
Nope, not at all.
Um, so I moved down here in April. In April, I think I shot 8 matches. Uh, Last month was slow for me. I only shot 2 weekends, but where I'm at right now, within about 3 hours, I can hit 5 or 6 big clubs. So I'm able to shoot. It works for me. I can't say I'm going to be the guy on the box at the end of the day, but it's a great community out here, all the way down from to Austin, out to Florence, all the way out to Burnett. Went out there for the Texas 3 gun, and then any USPSA match that I can hit while I'm out here.
So
It's
if I
worked out
know
pretty good.
so if I know Central Texas well enough, you're probably shooting Temple, ASC. Oh God, there's a couple that I'm blanking on, but kind of that area, those kind of
I,
matches.
I am so caps,
Yep.
APSC, Temple, TTS out of Conroy down by Houston, Triple Alpha up in Hubbard. Those are the clubs that I try to hit every month.
So you might know one of my best friends in the world, Brian Levy. He big ginger dude with a big beard. If you'll probably recognize him next time if you go out to Caps or ASC.
I'm going to look
Um,
for him. Yeah,
yep, and just tell him Manny said hi, and it'll light up his day. But he's a southpaw, so he's a lefty. That's kind of weird, but you'll definitely see him around there. And so you're shooting down there, and you shot Texas 3 gun championship. That's a big natural train match, isn't it?
it is. It's huge. So uh, it kind of lined up when I was moving out here. So we had some folks coming out from South Carolina, North Carolina that were going to shoot the match. Went out, got to see them shoot. I actually did not get to shoot, so made the match. Had to drop last minute because things like
Hmm.
it just happens, right? So I wasn't able to shoot the first day because of work. So I went out Saturday, Sunday, made sure I supported the squad. Got to see some really good stages. Looking to do the Vortex match here at the end of the year.
Hmm. That's
So
pretty cool. And
it
like
is.
if I remember right from my buddy Adam Maxwell talking about it, that range is like it's a bicyclist range place too, where they like mountain bike and stuff throughout the property, so they have to shut it down.
They do, and he is Amax was not wrong, right? So he says, those the bikers are legitimately waiting at the gate for you to clear the range so that they can hit the trails. It is a beautiful park that also runs PRS matches regularly up there too, national level. It's a great range. It's a great it's just it's a great piece of territory to get out and that natural terrain stages. Really disappointed that I didn't get to shoot it, but I got to experience it. So next year.
There you go. Then you should prove and make the hobos proud being out there in Texas.
That's it. That's what I'm trying to do. Like I said, the people on the screen here, we might not end up on the box at the end of it, but as a kind of a come as you are organization, bringing people into the sport like Derek has done for me. Like I'm familiar with three gun, I was familiar with USPSA, but it seemed like the gate of entry was too high, it was too steep to get into it just because I didn't know. It was a place of ignorance, right? And then just like you've said already, there's so many people out there that want you to be there, want you to grow the sport. And that's pretty much what the hobos are trying to do. That's exactly what we're trying to do. Touch some people that are already familiar with the shooting sports, but just don't know that they can do it. Yeah, you don't have to be a grandmaster to enjoy the sport, to support the sport, to keep the sports alive.
Well, at the end of the day, and it's like from a match management side, if you think about it, the GMs aren't paying the bills. It's the B, the C, the A class guys who they're the ones paying the bills for the matches to make them happen, right? Like at the end of the day, the guy who wins nationals, be it multi gun nationals or USPSA handgun nationals, they're not the one paying the bills for the match. Like it's you got to put it out for the broad audience of who's going to enjoy this match, right? A match that's going to test everyone's skills, yet lets the cream of the crop separate themselves from the rest of the pack. But at the end of the day, if your base consumer model, if they're not happy, they're not going to come back, and you're going to be in the red even more. So, and that's exactly right. Like you build the sport, you bring people into it, and you grow the community. So I guess I need to know. I guess I'll ask Payer. Maybe Payer knows this, but why the name hobos? Right? Like you don't look like bums. You don't look like guys on rail cars with little sacks over your shoulder. But why hobos?
It goes back to the Jason when the guy was trying to run him out, and he's just like, with our equipment, when I first started, I thought I had a Benelli M2, and that's where I put all my money. Everything else was just off the shelf, generic, and it was like, we're not bringing the top of the line kit, like Jason said, they're kind of making me feel like a hobo out here. We don't belong, and we're like, we just leaned into it and embraced it. We're bringing people, bring whatever you got on the shelf. Not everyone has a wall like Derek. He's the one who talks you into, hey, you need to buy this. We went to the Platypus this year. It's like, wow, I've never spent that much money on a gun. I'm a true hobo down here. So it just leaning into the whole culture of the team of, you don't need to show up with the top of the line equipment. It'd be nice to have all that stuff, but you can't start on day one. I guess some can, if you're a dentist, or I hate to talk bad about, someone who's got a lot of money on them, but the average Joe shooter isn't coming in with all that top of the line kit.
Oh, 100%. Like if I have my AR that's like closest to me is a hodgepodge build Anderson pony lower with a bunch of random parts in it. I mean, there's some nice parts. Like my rail is probably the nicest thing on this thing, and it's a Midwest Industries rail. That's key mod, so it's not even great anymore because it's key mod. Everyone's like M-Locks the shit, right?
Hey,
But
easy.
This
I'm
runs
the only
scheme.
one on the team with the key mod because
it's
that's how
okay.
old my rifle is.
When you think about it, remember key mod came from warehouse racking. Just remember all this. And every time I go to the warehouse, I'm like, yeah, key mod. It's kind of like key mod, but it's okay. But no, and then I've got a PSA. It's a primary arm scope. Simple 1-to-6 reticle that probably I still can't shoot very well out past 50 to 100 yards with it, but it's because I don't shoot rifle. If you guys ever watch me shoot PCC, I can't shoot a PCC very well either. But no, and definitely my garbage shotgun. What did I buy? I bought a Mossberg 930 with a rifled barrel. Like it was a demo gun from a dealer, and I bought this thing, and I'm like, oh man, I'll get a 3-gun barrel for it. That thing is those barrels are unobtainium to get like a regular fucking barrel. It's like, what the hell? It's a shotgun. You think you'd be able to find it, but no.
Yeah, that
Yeah, the
was my problem.
930 is a tough one.
Yeah, I was rolling around with an 1187 Remington. I was like, I can't put enough rounds in that thing to stay on these jungle runs.
The only thing I would like, I don't know. Has any one of you actually had to shoot 3-gun with like a pump?
No.
No.
I think we all were able to at least skip that part.
All right, exactly. It'd be like that'd be just horrible. Trying to do a jungle run quad load and pump the gun on the whole time. No, thank you.
Yeah, but an 8+1 makes it hard enough.
You know what they should do is they should give like Dissident Arms should sponsor the jungle run, and everyone should be able to use the prop gun, which is a Dissident Arms with a bunch of magazines, and then just shoot the jungle run with that.
Yeah, the all shotgun stage. That'd be
Yeah.
hot. No, Manny, tell me your AR's at least rattle can.
No,
Let's
no, it's
hobo.
not rattle can.
Oh.
No, I couldn't do that to myself. I really couldn't. I just was like, I got to live with this thing, and I'm not.
Got to run the blood diamond.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Like, I only have one gun that's Cerakoted, and that's because one gun that was Cerakoted. It is now nitrided because it was my first open gun, and I couldn't look at it any longer. So I sent it off. I sent it to my buddy Chris Vasilian, and he sent it off to the coder that Chile Custom Gunworks uses, and I'm like, just get this thing nitrided because I hated the paint job. Well, and it's just weird. I would brush up against a wall, and it was like, this paint should not be that shitty. And it just started chipping off in weird places, not like even like scuffs. It was just like complete paint chips, and I'm like, no, this thing's rusting underneath. We got to fix this. So
That's called patina.
no. It's not a 1911. So I probably have the worst trigger in my like 1911 45. It's American Tactical Imports. Terrible gun. Anyone want to guess the weight on the trigger?
At least 8 pounds.
17 pounds.
Now, Derek hit right in the head. 8 pound. An 8 pound single action trigger. Horrible trigger. I've only shot that thing like 2 range sessions because no one wants to buy 45.
Sounds right. That checks out.
Yeah. Prop guns. They just need to be stage guns. That's just what I'm saying.
No, Manny, to stay with the hobos, I got so much hate over my VR80 this last match that I went and rattle canned it this year. So bringing the rattle can back, hopefully I get even more hate for it. Just a trash shotgun that runs.
But does the VR? But it runs, right? Like that's the thing is like you don't have to have a Dissident. You don't have to have a crazy Jerry Michalik shotgun. As long as it runs and feeds reliably.
Yeah, these guys will tell you mine runs. The only thing I do that's different from everybody else, and they won't do it, is I just use straight motor oil to lube it. Because the gas blows right back into the piston. So you need something that can be it's a heat temperature oil lubricant type thing, right? So it can't gum up, it can't have any kind of detergent in it. It needs to be motor oil is the best thing I've found. It'll run all day hot as shit. Sorry, keep swearing.
It's okay. This I don't care. But have any of you actually put your shotgun shells in a cooler?
Yeah, last year. That was it. Everybody ran them last year. It was hot last year for Memorial 3-gun. They hung out in the cooler. They deform inside of a magazine. And the guys we were shooting with, it was actually the guys from Atlas. So they were able to show us what we should be buying for the shotgun shells, the action shooter shotgun shells, which I've switched over to because they're smart. But yeah, we had to keep them cool because we were in October and it was still high 80s. So,
and this match is Memorial's in North Carolina, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was like in Tennessee or some Midwestern like zone, but no, I was wrong. It's in North Carolina.
Yeah, Maxton.
Now, so for someone who's uneducated of the Carolinas, what's the commute for you guys? Like the most of the hobos to Memorial.
Well, it's going to be Chris this year, I think.
So I'll be the max. The mean though is probably about 2 hours, hour and a half.
But Chris is going to fly with lots of guns.
Yes.
And Tyler's going to fly.
So I'll fly in from Texas. We got another shooter that'll fly in from Kansas. Gary will fly in. The rest of the guys will drive. Jason's local. It's like in his backyard, so it's easy for him. And then everybody
Gary's
else
driving.
is about a 2 hour. Oh, he's going to drive?
Gary will drive.
Gary will never get on a plane unless it's like he's taken like a case. Like it's his teaching case.
No. Derek hit it on the head. He's on the no-fly list.
Oh yeah, Gary's
yeah. Well,
he says that every time though.
That's a true hobo.
Mm-hmm.
There's some truth to that story. Yeah, he doesn't fly.
Last I knew is he at least would fly to like Norfolk to teach the one class because he'd hang out at his buddy's house and drink beer.
Ah, well, because he was going to the FBI, I guess they gave him a waiver for that one.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh, I guess I'm teaching on your property, so I guess I can fly here.
Yeah. So
Makes.
long story short,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm probably going to overstep, but Gary once tried to leave Miami on a plane and forgot a Glock 19 magazine in his carry-on. Um, they referred it to the FBI, at which point Gary got pretty snarky with them. So, typical Gary fashion. It's just a piece of plastic. This is 3 ounces of plastic or whatever it is, and a little bit of metal. How are you holding me for this?
Because it wasn't being used as a container for ammunition. I mean, all that was.
Exactly. Total empty magazine. One. Yeah.
Did they
Well,
did they
anyway.
confiscate it?
Yeah, and put him on the no-fly list.
Oh no, damn
So he
Gary.
may have walked himself off of that. But we're looking forward to having Gary at this match. I mean, that's the vibe we're trying to go for. Is you know,
I'm
at
just
least
excited that Gary's actually shooting because when I met Gary, he didn't shoot. Period. Like he just worked a bunch of matches, and you never saw him pick up a gun other than to shoot a popper down for calibration.
yeah. I think he needed a reason to shoot, and he's probably listening to this, so this will be great. But he came from long range,
Mm-hmm.
and his engineering mind really embraces that long range kind of everything that goes into that. So he's going to love a lot of this sport that three gun gives him. And he's tried three gun, I think, in the past, but in the old days before it is what it is now. So, and then the whole camaraderie thing we're doing, we just pulled him in. So he's going to love this. So we get a house that the whole team kind of lives at for the 3 days we're at Memorial Three Gun, and we cook communal meals, and we'll eat together and then let them go tear up Southern Pines how they want and show up as drunk as they want to the or as hungover as they want to the range the next day. But you have a hard time and you got to hit it. And everybody gets in their truck, and I pull at 5:30, so be loaded.
So I'm gonna have to bust your balls, Derek. Did you forget Paul on the front porch of the hotel, or was that Gary's fault?
Oh, that was Gary's fault.
So for the rest of you who weren't
No,
there, they left Paul just sleeping on the front porch of the hotel, just sleeping conked out until the what 2 in the morning.
no, it wasn't that late.
It was like everyone like I think what most people went to bed at 11. That was the dunk. He was drunk as a skunk though too though. Like
Oh, we all were.
well,
Yeah.
it's really funny to watch Paul get drunk because he doesn't stop talking at that point until he falls asleep. It's when him and Gary get a heated argument over bourbon, it is great. But anywho, that's the cool. Another cool thing about the sport is after the match you go drink your beers, you drink your bourbon, you have a good. You get to talk about the bullshit that happened for the day. You need to wind
Yeah,
down.
yeah, and I'd like to touch on that point too because really I started doing Memorial Three Gun because it was close, and it was close to Jason where he ended up. He and I were friends. We were in the military together. We lived maybe 2 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality of it, I'd never visit him. He'd never come down to visit me. As sad as that sounds, we'd say it, we'd come up with reunion ideas, we just won't do it. But if we schedule a match, we're both going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Between the financial investment or the commitment or the fact that we're going to do something together, the old tribal ideas of a hunting party or a war party, take it wherever you want to in a psychological kind of construct, but we're going to be there. And that's the way we structured this organization is like if we schedule things where people can be there and they know their friends will be there, they know we're going to shoot, we're going to do something together, we can show off our guns and we can drink as beers and tell stories and collect many heads. The tribe will get together.
Mm-hmm. 100%, and that's what you got to do to get your friends around. So what you're saying is, Derek, that there's going to be a squad of hobos at the next area match. Is that what we're saying? We're gonna make everybody commit.
Absolutely. We keep trying.
It's okay. It's not as scary as Derek makes it out to sound. It's okay, everybody. No, but and that's the cool thing, right? Because you fall out of touch with there's people in the military you probably haven't talked to in a long time or at all, or even high school for that matter, right? But then when you've got your close knit community and you stick together and you do these things and you make commitments like this, it's where you're able to keep those friendships and those commitments alive, right?
Yeah, so that's really what the hobos kind of gives everybody, right? Somebody throws out in the chat that they heard about this match, no matter what it is, USPSA, 3-gun, multi-gun, tactical sniper, any sort of outlaw match. They're interested in shooting it. Somebody's going to rally around them, and we're going to show up. And again, like, we might not win it, or we might win it, because that sometimes happens too. We've had some pretty good luck with some tactical sniper and team events because we've got good chemistry as a team. But really, just showing up for each other is what a lot of folks need. It's what we need in the shooting sports, and we're happy to do that for each other.
And that's what it's about, is doing it for everybody and making it a good time. Um, I guess
It doesn't
Chris,
even
go ahead,
doesn't
Chris.
even have to be a hobo matches. Every once in a while, you'll hear at an area match or somewhere in Ohio or Michigan, someone yelling from the peanut gallery, "Hey, hobo!"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always got to make fun of you hobos. When I walk by, I'm like, you hobos.
Yeah,
But it's always in the
exactly.
good. It's the good picking on. It's one of the.
Yeah, yeah.
But where's it gonna? Oh, since you're talking, what's so under the hobo logo that everyone can see on the screen? What does the Latin words mean?
Supporting veterans.
There we go. And that's probably one of your biggest points, right? Is supporting your veterans. Um, and you also support a bunch of other charities. Like, so I see that you've got some Toys for Tots match coming up here at the end of the year. Whose idea was to get started on those or continue those efforts?
That was Derek. He's the match director for. I mean, this 23 years this match has been going on, and I'm not going to steal Derek's thunder, but I do have to say, this we've as the hobos, we've kind of fully embraced it and moved in and support. So we do need to thank, like Bigfoot Brass, Sake Holsters, a bunch of sponsors this year. Hunter Constantine, Hunter's Gold Outdoor, get supporting us. So there's, I mean, a lot of good people doing that. The match is, it's $20 or a toy, and most people are going to bring both to the match. To give you, and a lot of people just even donate more than the $20. So last year alone, we raised over $7,000 just over this 2-day match, and 2 tables full of toys. We filled up the back of a van for the Marine Corps Reserve that showed up. So the match, the hobos are supporting. We're the largest non-corporate donor in South Carolina. So it's a big deal for us. All proceeds, the club, Derek's the president of our Mid Carolina. The club, the match donates everything, targets, volunteer time, everything. So it's all proceeds go to us. So that's a big deal for us. That's we lean into it and try and make the best of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's cool, right? And in those Toys for Tots efforts, I've seen those. I've seen a lot of matches around the country do that kind of stuff, and that's impressive. $7,000 plus last year for. I bet the Marines are like, I don't know where I'm going to fit it. We're going to get it in here.
Well, we actually, you heard Derek, we have a gunnery sergeant who's now a first sergeant, but we had another a gunny sergeant who, so we brought him out for the flag raising and doing all that. He actually shot the first stage in his dress blues. He changed after that, but it was pretty impressive. So of course everyone's out there with the pictures and taking it, and that was just really cool. Something he embraced, and I mean, it was just awesome to watch.
At least he didn't fall down or anything and get those dress blues dirty.
No, well, it looks better than when we shoot a 3-gun. We make fun. We call it his tactical lederhosen. Is he has some kind of setup that I don't even know what you would call it. It's a little short, breeches that strap down on his legs, and he keeps all his magazines everywhere with straps. And it literally looks anyone's space station in Germany like some old school lederhosen.
I mean, that sounds still pretty cool though. Tactical lederhosen. I mean, like they have tactical kilts. Why not have tactical lederhosen? Thank you for checking out another episode of Manny Talks Shooting. I greatly appreciate it. And if you could do me a favor, please go patronize our partners when you are available. We have always, as the title sponsor, D2 Custom Guns. We've got Outdoor Dynamics, Make Stuff Better, 2 Alpha Apparel, Range Panda, Laugh and Load, Hunter's HD Gold, and Southern Bobby Q. Now, thank you. Let's get on with this episode.
Yes, and it didn't help last year when he showed up the night before the match. And again, you ask about the commute, so he's 2.5 hours away, and he starts looking around. He didn't bring any of his holster, his tactical lederhosen were still at home. So as we sat down to drink our bourbon and beer, he had a 5-hour round trip to go home and pick up his kit.
Oh no.
So it's all fun, we bust on everybody, but it's all good jest. And we say supporting veterans. We're not trying to cure the 22 of the suicides or anything crazy like that. It's just, if you've been around the military and the shooting community, you know how everyone talks and gets together. And like Derek was saying, it's an opportunity to bring Chris in from Texas, another Tyler in from Kansas, and all get together and circle the wagons in Maxton and shoot a fun match. I'm sure as you were looking, I think we just about have the whole squad. What do you say, Dirk? I think we had 2 people that are not hobos on our squad.
Yeah, 9 of us and two randos who are probably really good shooters.
It's okay. Just call the match director and be like, "Hey, these randos got to go somewhere else. Only
I
hobos
know,
only hobos allowed on squad
I know.
15."
Yeah, give us 2 more. Oh yeah. No, we have a lot of great guys. So you see Gary's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler's a crazy guy. Just recently retired from the Army. Started up an AI company that is now selling its services to police departments to solve their cold cases. He uses his AI company to solve 4 cold cases in his local sheriff's department.
Chat GBT,
Crazy.
we're doing the good work, right?
Crazy. Jacob Pattison, he's our ringer. He's a special forces sniper. No idea why he likes us, but we're glad to have him.
It's like because he's the only person shooting modified. It looks like.
Yeah.
He's hardcore that way.
Because what modified is like a slide ride pistol optic with like like a magnified optic on the rifle and then like irons on the shotgun.
It allows you, no, you can do an optic on your shotgun, but it's a tube shotgun only.
Okay.
But you can load to 12, I think.
Yeah, load to capacity.
Yeah, it's where everybody wants to be. It's where TAC Ops should be, in my opinion. But they need a hardcore iron sight division, I guess.
Yeah, TAC Ops is dead, just like a single stack revolver, L10, and production.
Yeah, modified is the new TAC Ops, I think, for what tube guns are. Now, tube guns are definitely superior until you have to reload them.
I don't know. Jerry Michalik with his leg bandolier of shells, hucking them in there. He'd be like, I don't know. I like these tubes a little bit better.
Yeah, Jake's the only one on the team that hasn't given up on that yet. Everybody else just realized we weren't going to get as fast as we need to be, and I can change a magazine a little bit faster than quad loading.
So, Chris, then Devonport, what shotgun are you running then?
I'm running the same thing as everybody else. Like we have to be brand loyal and go to Turkey to get the budget build with the VR80, and then you just make it work.
Right.
You fight through the friction until it works for you.
So then the question is, how much money does a VR80 cost?
Not much money.
So then how much money do you have in Smith work into the VR80?
More than the VR80.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Chris recently, he's fully embraced the Texas 5, and the rest of us are running 25 round box mags, and he's running what, 12? 9
So
plus?
yeah, I'm running all 12 round magazines. It makes sense, and I'll just be faster on the reloads as opposed to trying to fight through a big stick that looks ridiculous, and I trip on it when I try to run. I'm not as tall as Derek, so I don't need my magazine to hit the ground when I try to take a corner. So, but yeah, the VR80 is fine. It's not the best one out there, but it's also not $3,000. Again, kind of buying down that cost of entry, getting people involved. If you want to go open, that's a good way to do it. but then the rest of it, it's the rifle you described, your kind of your build that's in the corner off the screen. That's
Mhm.
it. I think all of us enjoy doing that. Nobody's trying to buy themselves into the game, uh, but if we can build ourselves into the game, that's kind of fun too.
100%. Yeah, and then it's where you can come into the sport at, right?
Yeah.
I didn't come into the shooting sports being a super big gun guy, right? Like, mind you, I did start getting into the shooting sports after I'd watched a bunch of Nut and Fancy videos. I mean, everyone's probably watched a bunch of those. If you haven't, I don't know if you're a real gun guy or not, but he liked to review watches and stuff too. But you've always got those type of videos, and it's always like, oh, you got to have the one battle rifle to do all. And I even wonder if he's still uploading. I'm gonna have to look later. But anywho, exactly. You build what you got. You bring what you have. I mean, on the pistol side, I'm a little way more bougie than everybody here on the panel.
Yes. Yes, you are.
But I mean, probably how many platypuses can I? How much is a platypus, Derek?
Mine was 1900.
Okay, I can buy for one of my guns. I can have 3 platypi.
So
Listen,
All different.
Derek has brought, what is it? We're up to 4 or 5 people. Talked him into it.
I know. Yeah, just that match. Like, hey, handle mine. They're like, I love this, and like maybe I should reach out to them and tell them I'm selling their guns for them for free.
so speaking of this, so I know a guy who's hooked up with stealth, and I'm working on it for you guys. I'm working on that, like on my end, because saw freaking plenty of platypi. But
Yeah, I can't.
Go ahead, Chris.
There was one guy right at the end of the match. We're all breaking down at Area 5, and he walked up. He's like, "Hey, Chris, I've been looking at this platypus. Can I check yours out?" So grabbed it, go to the safe area, and as soon as he racked it, pulled the trigger. He's like, "Oh, this is nice. Okay, I'm getting one." So
Right. Now there was a cool prototype one that I got to handle. It was a Sig magazined platypus. It was very cool. I don't know if they're ever actually going to come out with that because that was freaking cool.
well, that's the
Nothing.
benefit of the Glock. Is Area 5 last year? I won this. This Atlas Gunworks mag, and I was like, Derek, what do I do with this? He goes, it's like $110 magazine. I'm like, yeah, well, I have nothing that uses this. What do I do with it? He's like, trade it,
turn it
sell
into
it.
cash.
Yeah.
Well, we ended up giving all of ours to Jason because he won a staccato at that same match.
Well, there you go. Nothing wrong
Better
with
to
that.
be lucky than good.
And see, this is the cool thing about like random draw or raffles kind of thing. Everyone's got a chance. I'm not a big proponent, like especially as a match organizer. I'm not a big proponent of the best shooter gets to draw the best prize because they're not the one who pays the bills. Like nothing against Aaron Edens, the Army pays for his entry fee into the big major matches he puts on his calendar. Christian Seiler, yeah, he might be paying for that up front, but he's probably getting reimbursed by a sponsor. Most of the top end shooters, they're not paying their way around the country.
That's the same thing. That's my soapbox, and Derek has heard this numerous times. And you go to these major matches. One, I'll give credit to AMU when they win. Like 2 years ago, they won like a flat of shotgun ammunition, and they're like, "Hey, who's the youngest shooter?" And they donated it to the youngest shooter of the match, which was awesome. But you watch the other shooters; they're sponsored by pick a brand, Vortex, or and they walk up the prize table and they're winning a what a hollow sun or something. That's a bad example, but it's like they're not putting that on their pistol because they're sponsored by somebody else, so they're just going to turn around and sell it. Whereas someone like us, you're looking on the screen, if you gave us even a hollow sun, someone here would be excited and like, heck yeah, I need that.
Yeah, I've got a problem. I've got 2 Vortex Defender XLs sitting in my gun safe that I don't have pistols for them yet. Like it's like, what am I gonna do with these? I gotta
Well, you can
find.
donate them. The hobos can find a spot for them.
I mean, this is true. This is true. I could or buy another gun. That's the problem.
There's the answer. I'm sure D2 can hook you up.
I could. I mean, the problem also is like I've got 2 defenders, but I also have another SRO sitting in the safe that I took off another gun, and I'm like, this one's just chilling here too. What am I gonna do with you? It's the under never. I guess it's a good problem to have, having extra optics, because those are the things that can always take a shit.
Yeah, it's
You can
3
always win a gun.
D2s or a dozen platypus. It'll be fine.
I mean, this
Your
is
decision.
true. A dozen platypi would be pretty cool. Although my problem is I'm way too invested in the 2011 magazine at this point. What's 8, 9, like 13 magazines worth. Like it's kind of hard to go back. It's funny enough is I've got my buddy who's hooked up with Stealth, and he's absconded with all of my normal standard capacity Glock magazines because I'm like I don't shoot my Glocks anymore, and I'm just like I know if I need my magazines, I know where they're at. Like, mind you, he's a couple states over, but it's okay.
They're easy to find. You can get a Glock magazine anywhere.
Yes, this is true. This is also true. You can get a Glock magazine anywhere. But and that's the cool thing is like I think the big appeal of the platypus is because you can use a Glock magazine with it. Now, Chris or Derek, have you guys used the Metgar mags or the metal Glock mags in a platypus yet?
Yeah, I used MBX, not Metgar, but MBX, and it works phenomenal.
So he's got a platypus. Well, I guess you do have a bougie gun now, so you can have bougie magazines.
I only have 2. But then I also cheated the standard Glock mags by putting Taylor Freelance brass weight on the bottom. That brings it to 22 rounds.
But at least they drop free.
They do. So far, everything drops free in the platypus that I have, but those drop harder, and they keep all the weight in your hand.
So when you dry fire, have you ever dropped the one on your foot yet?
Yeah.
Oh, at least you said yes instead of wait, what's dry fire? So I guess that's a great question I'll segue into. When it comes to 3-gun dry fire, what do you guys find to be the most either the important gun or important thing to dry fire for a 3-gun match?
Pistol.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Yeah,
pistol. It used
it's
to
still
be
pistol.
when I thought I was gonna make the tac ops work. It was for me. It was the quad loads because I'm really good at tri loads because I always throw one shell somewhere. So, but now I've moved to the VR80 like the rest of the team. You know, it's the pistol, and then that equates to the USPSA, which I've gone, as I said, gone down that rabbit hole.
I'm the oddball in the group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do my rifle, and I put the Blackbeard system in it and work the close range stuff because I lose a lot of time transitioning close range for some reason. And then that helps me with the shotgun because then I just shoot it like a rifle / PCC close range, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. Especially because you could either definitely overconfirm sites. Like, so I'm assuming a Memorial 3-gun is 2 on brown, right? 2 on brown equals down.
That's right.
So you just blaze it, right? Like,
Or one in the alpha.
Yeah. So who cares? Just you could get 2 deltas. It's the same thing, but 10 splits. That's all that matters. Remember, splits get the chicks.
That's right. But they make the targets real small, though.
Unless you're shooting 30 carbine with tracer rounds, then that's what gets the chicks. That's what's going to get the chicks.
Tactical leader hosing.
Yeah, no, that never happened.
No woman saw that shot, sadly.
It's got to be recorded somewhere. There's got to be someone's phone has it.
Put it on his Tinder profile. It'll be fine. Work out for him at the end.
Tinder's still a thing?
Yeah, probably.
It's probably true. Or there's like well, not farmers only, vetsonly.com.
Oh, I wonder.
That would be a horrible place.
Oh, there'd be a lot of STDs on that.
Oh, I didn't say that, you did. Oh. So what about you, Jason? What do you find to be the biggest thing that you practice for your 3-gun stuff? Is it pistol?
It should be because I'm a horrible pistol shot. But actually, I mess around with a Red Ryder BB gun. Back in the day, coming out of high school, my first squad leader, he said that we could always bring BB guns into the squad bay, and he's like, "Hey, if you can do the 4 basic fundamentals of rifle marksmanship with a BB gun, it translates." So he was fine with us messing around and just shooting BB guns in the squad bay all the time. So that's what I do. I shoot cans with a Red Ryder, and my rifle shooting is of the 3 fundamentals. yeah, my rifle shooting is my best. So yeah, you're right. I probably need a dry fire pistol.
I don't know. Does it have a compass in the stock though?
No, it doesn't. But
Oh.
it does have the leather, like that leather braid coming off the back,
Hmm.
that random like leather strap. So I mean, it's legit cowboy action.
Yeah. I just can't say you'll shoot your eye out. You'll shoot your eye. I don't know. Young people, you might not know what the Christmas story is, but you've done yourself a disservice for not watching it, so you need to go watch it. That's like a family tradition on Christmas Eve. Like from Christmas Eve to Christmas Day, it's on the TV. Period. Like you're not allowed to change the channel. When I was growing up, so
Same, same.
you could recite it after the third time you've watched it that night and be like, "I'm going to bed now," and then you just wake up to it again.
It's a major award. Come on now.
It is. It's fragile. I just kind of want. I don't know. I want an under the sink cabinet that I could actually sit in and hide under as a kid. That was never in any of my homes that I could do that in. When his little brother's just hiding underneath the sink, it's great. And it happened like the story's based off in Indiana, so I mean it's somewhat hilarious. But
we all want a safe place, Manny.
we do want to save place. It's a clinker. Oh, I love that movie. Good memories on that movie. All right, let me pull up. Well, let's go back to my list. I had this wonderful talking points that Derek sent me pre-show that is actually quite helpful. So I'll pick on Payer a little bit because I can. So Payer has collected sponsors for the Hobos. How was that asking your first person to like sponsor the Hobos? Were you nerve wracking? Was it somebody really new or what? What's the story behind that?
No, it actually goes back to Memorial Three Gun, and we were all walking around, between the after your AM or PM or it was AM match, and we were walking around at lunch, and we walked past the booth, Southern Precision Tooling,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "You got to come shoot. We got these great muzzle brakes," and we're all like, "It's a muzzle brake. We all have muzzle brakes. What are you gonna show us?" They're like, "Come on, we'll give you free ammunition." Like, okay, we're in. So we all walked to the line, and to a person, we're all like, "Oh, we need to buy," and we all went and bought one. So then, as we're standing around talking with Andy, and I one thing led to another, and that was the easiest one, I must say. Everyone else, it's kind of like I hate asking for free stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I feel like when I'm begging to all these people. But just one thing led to another, and Andy and SPT has just been phenomenal. And then the second one, Derek found through Sake Holsters. Um, he bought a bunch of their stuff, and I mean, the guy from order to receiving, you're getting it in like a week. And Derek started. Chris, director of our social media and what was it, fun? I can't remember what we gave him the
Uh,
uh,
Competitive,
Success.
yeah, competitive
success.
success.
Yes,
It's
got us
mostly
all.
winning. Director of winning.
I never like. I was kind of like our gray man in the corner here. I didn't have Instagram or anything like that, and he's like, "You need to get on Instagram." And so Derek was posting all this with Sake Holsters, and just randomly, he's like, "Yeah, look at all these posts I'm getting. Maybe I should sponsor the Hobos." So immediately, I jump on that real quick. Like, "Hey, this is Chris from the Hobos," and he's been really good. I mean, he outfits the entire Hobo team for Memorial Three Gun, and it's
So
just
does he make a level 3 retention style or level 2 style holster, or is it just like a bucket holster?
I'm trying to. Yeah, he makes them all. I mean, so whatever you want, you reach out to him, and if he doesn't have the pattern, like we just had one of our guys get the Deadpool riding, unicorns. That's what he's running on his holster for Memorial. So I mean, all great guys. When I first got it, like Derek said, it's when the Hobos were just starting, and I was like, what I really want is I want a jersey. I watch all these cool shooters with. And so our first jersey, I just every logo got permission from people like, look, I don't want anything from you, Vortex, Glock. We had one company come back and say, look, we can't give you official permission, but no lawyer's going to come after you. We're not going to pursue you. So we just threw a bunch of logos on. And now the jersey is, we kind of switched to people who, we're more representing them, and they give to us, and we do our best to give back to them.
Mm-hmm. And
And
that's a cool thing.
yeah, our latest two sponsors, we do appreciate you, Manny, coming on, at Area 5. And that one was another easy one. That was just over bourbon. You and your wife hanging out, eating some pizza, and like, hey, Danny, Manny, I'm sorry, what do you think about this? And then barbecue was the same way as we're standing in line, getting some chow. I was like, hey, get one of your pig patches. And he's talked about, yeah, if I sponsor people, they get free food. And that's, ooh, what? Free food? I could get a free breakfast burrito?
It's
He's
half
already
the.
given them.
It's
Yeah,
so good.
it is. I mean, yeah, it is just phenomenal. So, it's just a lot of our, I mean, we're not going out targeting, the big cup. Obviously, Vortex has their team and Atlas Gunworks and D2, we're not shooting at the caliber that they're looking. So we're the little smaller ones that, they get our vibe and appreciate what we're doing. And I mean, you agreed, and you've seen how we roll, and it's just very relaxed and chilled, and we're there to have fun and give back as best as we can.
Exactly. Well, and for me, my goal here is to support the shooting sports and the people within it. Right. I am the Monday morning voice of the not radio for most people. You know how many times I go to a major match or even a local match, they're like, "Man, I loved that episode with so and so." I totally forgot about the episode because happens, and then I'm like, "Oh yeah, I did do that one recently." And then they tell me about it, how they loved it. I can't remember. It was like Area 5. Everyone was like, "Oh, I love this episode with Isaac McLaren." I'm like, "I'm glad you liked it." And that's my thing is I just want to help promote people, promote the sport, and get more people's voices out there, right? So that's why I love doing things like this, where everyone can get their voice out and be heard. Um, and not everyone, I've one of my third or fourth episode, one of my good friends in Wisconsin, D class shooter at the time, I had him on and we talked about shooting in general. It was fun, right? And everyone starts from that kind of level. So like I said, I talked to a bunch of people who are good shooters, great shooters, or up and coming shooters. It where you're at now doesn't bother me. It's where I'm going to take you or you're going to go in the future, and that's the success I like to see. Because Rome wasn't built in a night, right? Manny Talks Shooting wasn't built in a night. It was over multiple years that this has become a prominent thing, and that's where I want to see the Hobos is even with a little bit of promotion from me and being supported that way and helping out with the best I can. It just sees things grow, and that's the good thing about this sport is just making it grow. And,
And
and getting
I
free
also,
burritos is always good.
yeah, that's good. I also, before we got on the burritos, we got Mark Schulte as well picked up with Bigfoot Brass, which Derek, you can tell him about the your certified or not certified, your calibration ammo.
Oh, it's all anecdotal evidence, but yeah, I loaded all my calibration ammo as I was testing out for the Range Master program with Bigfoot brass,
Mm-hmm.
and calibrated it myself. It looked pretty good. Thought I was good. Get up there, I was good for sure. But in the logbook, I come back after the end of like the last day because I calibrate every day as I'm taught. So I go there and I see the logbook and I see my rounds are the most consistent out of everybody. Mine are within like 10, not even 10, like 5 power factor. And everybody else is all over the place. Now, granted, most range masters are shooting Ely or some other stuff, but I had never gotten that level of consistency until Bigfoot Brass got it there. And I told him that in Michigan, and he thought about it, and he's like, I do some things that other people don't do. And then it got really nerdy
Mm-hmm.
for a minute, and I
As
didn't
Mark
understand
does.
everything he was saying. Yes, about how he makes that brass so precise, so it's exact to get it to you. So no, thanks to him. Now I'm a customer for life.
Mm-hmm.
He
And I'm
does some
assuming you're
solid
one.
stuff.
You and like Gary roll your own calibration ammo.
Have to. Ely's too inconsistent.
Mhm. Oh, you should have heard Jay Warden on the third day of Area 5. He's like, it's gonna be a bad day.
You have to. Yeah. I mean, you got to get there. Otherwise, it's just not there. I try to, and I try to give it as much as I can to the competitor. I don't want to say it that way. I was trying to think of a better way to say it, but I do 115 lead at the lowest I can get it to fly as straight as I can get it. So usually coming out at 119. So
If you're at 119, are you shooting this out of your platypus or are you shooting this out of a different gun?
I did the Glock at at nationals, and that's what I loaded to at the time. So if I'm gonna load to the platypus, I got to get it even lighter because the platypus has a much better barrel. So,
I mean, the cool thing that I saw the other day was Brad was shooting his what was it? Oh, he was shooting his carry gun, his carry sig as his calibration gun. I was like, all right. It was a comp
yeah,
supported gun. I'm like, this is kind of cool.
365,
Yeah,
3.5 inch barrel, I think.
yeah, and it was pretty cool. And I'm just like, it works, it works. Or you could be like Russell and ride around with a CZ checkmate that you have to rack every time you shoot it because it's a freaking bunny fart load out of that thing.
Yeah, it ain't gonna run that ammo. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like poof.
Or like Corey and not have your red dot working when you get called up and have to Kentucky windage it.
Oh well, yeah, that or well, he could have just shot the rifle for calibration, which then everyone thinks he's a freaking cheater because he's using a PCC to calibrate. But honestly, I would totally use a pistol sleeve, like a pistol length barrel with a big sleeve. I would totally use that as a calibration gun because it's like it's not rocket science. You just put the dot on the thing and be like, well, see, I aimed there. It's okay. It's not like, oh, I shot over it or I shot it low or in the head and it doesn't count and then you got to redo it. It's like I would just be like, keep it simple. I don't want to carry a gun on me all day if I was a range master. But I'm not going to be a range master until one thing happens. There's a range master in Michigan needs to either move or Gary decides to stop being a range master, which I don't think that'll ever happen. So
there's so many range masters in Michigan.
it's
You
ridiculous.
can't throw a rock and not hit one.
Because you've got, well, Carl Perovan, but he doesn't RM matches. He just works, he CROs nationals, which gets his requirement. You've got Walt, you've got Klugowitz, you've got Gary. I think that's it. But then you've got everyone in Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah, who come over anytime to show Ohio dominance, right?
Yeah, silly Ohio. But it's all good. But yeah, I was like, I'm not going to join the range master program. There's not enough matches to work. Like,
I know. I'm the only one in my state, so
it's okay. Take the territory back from Gary McConnell. Take it back.
I'm trying, clawing it back.
So
do it, man, do it.
We'll see.
Don't
My problem is I can't have the instructor I would want as my mentor because he's taught me both classes, and that's the downside.
Yeah, that's a no-go.
Yeah, because Gary and I click like on a personal level too, which is nice, but not saying I couldn't learn from Jay or one of the other RMIs. Who else is there? There's Evans Kuo. Wasn't he whose instructor was he?
Evans is solid. Yeah. I
think I've met him once, and that was in passing.
Yeah.
Then there's Carl Schmidt,
Dan
Bernard.
Carl. Yep, Dan in Florida. Well, the tough part is you got to do a mentorship with them, right? So you want to get out to some matches they're working. You don't have to, but
yeah, but I
want to. Yeah,
I want to think that like one of the guys I knew who was going to the RM program couldn't do a match with their mentor. So one of the other RMIs was, they rode along with them for a match, which worked out fairly well. I can't remember who that was. I don't know if it was Daniel Hart. No, it was Brad. Brad did it with Gary because Jay was his instructor. So he just did the ride along with Gary.
Yeah, any ride along with an instructor is valuable. Mm-hmm. And they count. So I did a ride along with Paul before I started the program. Then I applied to the program using that as a justification to enter the program. Mm-hmm. And then I did another ride along with Gary later at the first Michigan sectional I worked. And then here we are. So.
Yep. You have to ride around on a quad the first year.
I know.
Now the better question is, which one was better, the quad or the mule?
The quad was much faster. Jay was trying to sell me that mule the whole match. Like, it could be yours, 7K. Hit that in the trailer.
You know what he should have done is like talk to us at the gun club and been like, we honestly might have bought it. Because I'm the secretary there. I've been like, shit, there's 3 of us here. We can make a fucking financial decision right now. Give you cash.
Quad ran great. The mule ran great. It's
just slow.
Yeah.
Hey, I just needs to get to A to B from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill.
Yeah. 7K for that in the trailer. It's a good deal. I just had nowhere to put it.
Exactly. Wasn't he trying to sweeten the deal with some lab radars as well?
I heard those are sold now.
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
I tried to sell those at Area 5 for him, but it didn't work. I like
Yeah.
Jay. If anything ever happens to Paul or Jay, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, Chronograph will be severely missed, and we'll need new people for Chronograph. But anywho, I don't want to think about those now. I don't want to think about that. We don't need to get down those dark holes.
No.
So, so on your upcoming events, I guess I'll ask Jason. So, Jason, what is this Tim Gaskin all gas no brakes memorial match?
So sadly, a member of the Hobo Shooters, Tim Gaskin, passed away recently, and it appears to be just a freak illness. Just young guy, 22 years old, and yeah, passed away most recently. And then a gentleman, Ryan Lee, that Tim worked for and did shooting with, sponsored a shooting match to memorialize Tim, and a bunch of us are gonna go and shoot it and remember Tim and hang out with Tim's dad, um, and a bunch of people that Tim used to work with, and obviously a bunch of the hobo shooters. But yeah, it was one of those things where, looking at Tim, he had come to the team a few months ago. He was someone that was shooting with the guys at MCRC, the Mid Carolina Rifle Club, and we'd seen him around. One of our other members worked with him and had recommended him for sponsorship and joining the team. He was just a great guy. He was fantastic. He had this great social media presence. His videos on Instagram, compared to the rest of us, would get a ton of hits. He was just such an upbeat and great kid. I mean, I say kid. He was 22, kid compared to most of us. Um, Phenomenal shooter, um, fast, and he was always working on his skills and very excited about the shooting sports. And yeah, he's dearly missed. So coming up in September, we've got a memorial match to remember him, and we're all very excited um, that we at least get to do this for him and get to see his family while we're down there.
Oh, and that's one of the great things to be able to do is memorialize someone with that. That's something they loved and enjoyed doing. So it's very unfortunate to hear that he did pass. From Derek's notes, it was the 8th of August, which we're only 10 days out from, which is sad to see. But and as you mentioned, it was some random illness, which that's even worse. It's not like you could even see it coming. So it's like you could have talked to him the day prior, and
Yeah,
then
it was just one of those things. It just something happened, and unfortunately, he passed out, went into a coma, and he just didn't wake up.
it's an
But it goes
unfortunate.
back to what we said before. It's amazing just on the social media how much of the shooting community came out. And I mean, everybody in the Carolina area were all posting and sending him, prayers and well wishes. And Father asked us, Derek and I went to his funeral service and asked us, there was 2 rows of people all in shooter jerseys, families all had dressed to the T's. And as Ryan Lee, the South Carolina section coordinator, made it when he, given some eulogy. All the people sitting out here in funny shirts, so that just again the community coming out and supporting.
Hmm. Well, it's good, and that's even better to see a bunch of random people in funny shooting blouses at a funeral. You just kind of know your people at that point, and they it's always going to be hard when we lose someone in the community like that. But it definitely is good to see everyone who's still there to be able to see who was there and supported him and wanted to be there for him and his family and all that at that funeral. So, oof. But anywho, I'll move on a little bit from that. As we talked about it, Memorial 3 Gun is coming up. You're sub 2 months out. So are you guys slightly prepared?
Man, I'm still
Yeah,
unpacking from Area 5.
As we talked, no, we didn't even clean our guns yet. You're fine.
No, you don't need to clean your gun before that. It'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think everybody's at different levels of prepared. This is our event. It's what we can all get together and rally around. And I completely understand, and we understand that there is a very serious competitive three-gun community, and they are there to win. We are there to support the foundation. We're there to support each other, and we're there to have a good time. Uh, we're not going to win, and that's okay. We're just going to make sure that we're not going to get in the way of anybody else winning. Um, so I think we're prepared. I think we're always prepared for it until we get there, and then by the end of day two, where you're seriously dragging ass and wondering why you've made these poor decisions in your life. Yeah, but it's good. Day three is always the best day. The award ceremony, the memorializations, where you actually see the families and you understand why you're there for that event. It means a lot to us to be able to be a part of it year after year.
Hmm. Yeah, and just being able to hang out with your homies for 3 days and enjoy the camaraderie of the sport. Now, is there a plan? So when I go to any major match, I always plan like a dinner out, right? Do you guys have a place that you always go when you go to Memorial Three Gun, like where you're going to dinner for one of the nights?
Oh, we do even better. We got a whole Airbnb house with a giant table. We're on our second year renting this one. They can put 12 people at the table, and we've got a 9-man team this year. So we're going to cook dinner every night for these people and tell them bring your families, bring your kids, and
I think
enjoy this.
one restaurant would be. I'd have to Jason. What is the breakfast? That's our go-to.
Oh, Betsy's Crepes.
Yes, that's when you're running a PM squads, you got to hit Betsy's Crepes.
Now, is there more than just crepes, or is that just in the name?
Oh
Or
yeah.
is okay?
No, yeah, crepes is what they specialize in, but it's standard breakfast.
Omelet as big as your head.
I don't know. I think a southern breakfast is way different than a northern breakfast, but I mean, we're not as cool when it comes to breakfast. I mean, we don't normally we don't see grits up here for breakfast, so. But we're
Okay, so
also
I was born a northerner.
uh huh.
I just, life has put me in the south. Yeah, I don't do grits.
Jason is as north as you can get.
So
Pretty
like what
close.
Maine?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you nailed it.
Oh, so he's a
Yeah.
blueberry farmer.
Yeah.
Which I never believed. You'd never think that blueberries come from the ground and you rake them up. Like Maine blueberries are weird. Has anyone seen Jay Beal post videos of like his real business where they're raking
Uh,
blueberries in the summertime?
No.
I'll have to send
I
it.
mean,
I'll
I've
have to
seen
send it
people
to
do it. I've
somebody.
done it.
Yeah, my back would be killing me, and I don't have a disability. So if I was walking into Betsy's Crepes, what's the best thing on the menu to get? Like that's like stand down, have to order it at least once.
oh, my go-to is what the Superman. It's the one peanut butter and oh yeah,
Yeah, that's where I
Oh
was
yeah,
at
you like
too.
that weird. You
Superman.
like that weird stuff. Yeah.
yeah. I haven't changed. I got it the first time and it's been the standard fare every time.
Dude, it's like 5,000 calories.
Which is fine
Yeah,
if
but
you're only
look at
going to
me.
eat
I'm not
once
a
for
skinny
the day.
guy.
Get a carbo load.
It's the same caloric input as Bobby's breakfast burrito.
See, this the trick is you have half the calories if you take off the tortilla and you eat it as a
Get
bowl.
get the bowl. Yeah.
Well, it's very hard to deliver like technology while eating a breakfast bowl, so I still have to eat the burrito. Like,
You poor soul.
but I
Have to
do like
suffer through
jamming
that
out to my
burrito.
radio. Like, I do like having the speaker bumping as I'm delivering technology. We'll see how
You
that
do well.
goes. We'll see how that goes with Troy being the range master at IPSC Nationals.
Oh,
And be like, this is my morning time. This is the only time I listen to music is driving around like a jackass in a golf cart throwing tablets at people.
we
Like
appreciated that.
you just have like especially when it's that early in the morning, you gotta have something to wake you up. And if it's me flying around on a golf cart, so be it. I mean, my golf cart setup was kind of fancy. I had my fan
It
hanging,
was.
my phone mount, and my speaker were
Yeah.
all on the bars. So
It was a pick me up. You show up and they're like, hey, Manny's here.
hmm
And I would tell Tony, the finger, Hey,
Yeah.
any tablet problems, fix it now before
Hmm.
he leaves.
Exactly. Well, you always want it fixed while I'm there because it's usually like we can't get the thing to work, and it's
Yeah.
like after everyone starts calling on the radio, it's just like the first stage of the staff match. Range master for calibration on 1, range master for calibration on 3, range master for calibration on 6. It's like,
On
God,
6. On 6 over and over and over again.
it's okay. And then you got to reshoot it.
No, I did worse. It's a
I
sore
don't
subject for me.
I don't think anyone could have done more worse than Gerald and Shiva though. I mean, that was just like rough.
Yeah. Oh, and Evans, who never got it to fall.
Well, maybe he needs to stop shooting bunny fart loads out of his revolver.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, we've come to kind of the time that I have allotted for tonight. Now, we're gonna round table this, and then we'll do some final closings. But if there's one thing each of you want to share with the audience, go ahead and be it, and then I'll have another one to wrap us up with. So we'll start with Pear, you can go first this time.
Yeah, I got no deep thoughts. I'm like the shallowest guy in the squad here. I just appreciate the opportunity to come on here and hang out with you and the group, and another opportunity to bring us all together. And so just thank you.
Thank you for coming on, Devonport.
Yeah, I can just echo what Chris said, and then I said it earlier, right? So like the hobos are really a come as you are organization. They're what got me into shooting sports. I hope to get more people into shooting sports because we need it. It's a great community, and I appreciate everything that Derek and the boys have done. So thank you.
Jason.
Manny, I just want to say thank you for bringing us on. Great opportunity. Really enjoyed it. And as far as how I enjoy the shooting sports, I would encourage anybody, definitely starting out, just never check your score. It's like internet comments.
Mm-hmm.
Never read internet comments. Never check your score.
And Derek, can you top that one?
Oh, no, I can't. Oh, Chris nailed it on the head. Come as you are. That's what we're about. And we have a community. We set up talks. Just throw a question in. As a matter of fact, I got a question outstanding. I got to answer about magazines. But what do you get that works? So I have a 20-year experience. We all have the same thing, but I like to bend that curve for the new guy. Here's what can get you in at the cheapest cost, and bring it and run it, and we support you. And that's what we're about.
Absolutely. Now, I'll take this back to Chris. Since you are the social media guy, where can people find the hobos on the social media?
Yeah, so primarily biggest presence at Hobo Shooters on Instagram. That's where you're going to see most of us. We do have a Facebook page for some of our older senior citizen types and followers. So if you want to, my grandma follows it. She really likes it a lot. But that's the same thing at Hobo Shooters. But that's where our primary presence is. From there, you'll see our link tree that links to all of our sponsors as well as our Hobo store. So if you want to get that swag and you want to represent us, you can. I don't blame you if you don't want to. I'm still going to represent us anyways.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So, guys, if you want to go check out the Hobo Shooters, go do that. I'll put some links below in the podcast notes or on YouTube/Rumble, wherever this ends up going. But, guys, thank you for hanging out with me and having talking about the Hobo Shooters. I think everyone's gonna love this show. So, even though it kind of talked a little bit about 3-gun, and I'm not a 3-gunner, but it's okay. They can live with it. So, as I say on every show, everybody get out and do the things. I will see you on the next one.